year to boost their production, because we found out that during rainy season, high production of milk is experienced, and during dry season, the level of milk being produced is dropping. The Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Cooperative Management should enhance budgetary allocations to support cooperative societies in purchase of necessary equipment such as coolers, pasteurizers, computers, generators, and printers. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Cooperatives should prioritize reviving cooperative societies that are dormant after assessing their viability, and if they are no longer viable and have coolers, should donate the same to viable societies that do not have milk coolers. As I had said, that there is one in Kipkelion that is sitting on 8,000 and 7,000 cooler liters, and it is dormant. Should be supplied to those cooperative societies that are active. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries should recruit more extension officers to train farmers on good agricultural practices in order to improve on their production. I wish to thank the Office of the Speaker and of the Clerk, and also the committee, on the opportunity that you granted us, and also the support that you accorded to us. It wasn't an easy task. We were able to do some visits, as you can see from the pictures, Chelilis, and also Cherobu, Kabianga, Cheptororiet, Mosop Dairy, Kipkelion Dairy, Kerimoi, and so forth. Let me take this opportunity also to thank our chairman for the work that you did, and for those areas that you were not able to visit, because due to time factor, we were not able to visit all the cooperative societies, but we had to choose the one we visited just to represent the rest. Otherwise, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the rest.
Thank you, the Honorable Gladys Pitts, that is the Vice Chair for the Committee on Cooperative Management, what is Emmanuel Life, for your response on this first report as raised by the Honorable Paul Chirchir. I think, Honorable Members, as you have seen this committee, I want to commend it, having gone through this report, that they have done a very thorough work, and even the format of reporting, they have really set standards, and I hope that all the other committees will follow the cue. So, Honorable Chairperson, you've done a very good job with your committee, and we want to encourage you that you continue with the same spirit. And before I give to the Honorable Paul Chirchir, the Honorable Chairman, unless you have something to say, and then I...
Asante sana Bwana Spika, kwa nafasi hii umenipea. Nilichelewa kwa sababu leo mwili yangu jisikii mzuri, lakini ningetaka tu nipe kongole kwa naibu yangu. Langu la kwanza ni kushukuru ofisi yako kwa kufanikisha kazi yenye ilikuwa mbele yetu. Na kwangu mimi pia nadhani kuna watu singechelewa kutacha, kwa sababu wamekuwa kielelezo kwao mahali wanawakilisha wadi. Mmoja wao ni Mheshimiwa Paul Chirchir, kwa sababu yeye pia mwenye ana supply maziwa, anaipeleka maziwa kwa cooperative ya Masop. Mwingine pia ni Terer, wakilishi wadi ya Chepoin. Mwingine pia ni Aaron Rotich, kwa sababu pia amekuwa ni mtu kielelezo kwake kwa cooperative yenye iko kwao. So singetaka nichukue fursa mingi, ningetaka tu niseme asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Chairperson, the Honorable Philip Mutai, and we wish you quick recovery. And we also appreciate that you are here despite the fact that you are not feeling well. I think that is good leadership. And as I say, quick recovery. The Honorable Paul Chirchir, what is your take on this statement that was raised?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me an opportunity to give my input on the statement that I had raised on the number of cooperative societies in the entire county, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have noted, and I wish to laud the Committee on Cooperatives for a job well done, Mr. Speaker, sir. This is one of the most active committees, Mr. Speaker, sir, and to appreciate their work. Mr. Speaker, sir, if there will be a trip to go to Brazil, allow the whole committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, to go to Brazil, for they have done a good job. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have also noted the number of litters that is collected by all the cooperative societies in the entire county at 46,482. Mr. Speaker, sir, we've got a huge potential, and I ask the honorable members to seize this opportunity, use the information that has been gathered by the committee for purposes of enhancing production, trying to also get quality breeds for the farmers so that we improve on milk production, Mr. Speaker, sir. Kabianga Dairy Cooperative Society, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the leading cooperative society in the entire county. And at the time this committee visited this society, Mr. Speaker, sir, they were collecting 12,255. I know they go high up to 20,000 per day, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have seen them improve from one stage to the other, and currently I saw them the other day, they have purchased a huge tanker that collects milk for the society, transport the same to the buyer who is new KCC. The farmers save shillings 2 per liter, and the same society again leases out, or the truck goes around to collect milk, and the society gets money or savings from the same. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other society is Sociot, but the one that follows Kabianga, Mr. Speaker, sir, is Cherobo in Kibwastuya. That is Bureti, Mr. Speaker, sir, followed by Sociot, then Kapsoit is number 3, Mr. Speaker, sir, at 2,000. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to tell this house, I lead by example. I am a farmer. I supply about 20 liters per day, Mr. Speaker, sir, because of the hard times, Mr. Speaker, sir. We hope in future that the county will consider putting more effort on pasture, because it is very expensive to the farmers, Mr. Speaker, sir. The recommendations, Mr. Speaker, sir, are good. I wish to add the following, Mr. Speaker, sir. I don't know whether we will make an amendment, but it is subject to your leadership, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the facilities that do not have electricity, I wish that the committee, through the clerk of the County Assembly of Kericho, we write to the CS for Energy, Mr. Speaker, sir, that these facilities, by approval of this motion, this report, Mr. Speaker, sir, all facilities that do not have electricity, they be connected, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is very, very important, and that is, we are in government, we are Kenya Kwanza government, Mr. Speaker, sir. I do not see why they should not connect electricity to all the facilities that do not have, Mr. Speaker, sir. Number two, Mr. Speaker, sir, hygiene is very important. Any facility that do not have water connection, Mr. Speaker, sir, by approval of this report, that the same be communicated to the CEC water, that these facilities be connected with water, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, milk coolers are a property of the county. If the same have been donated to cooperatives, societies, Mr. Speaker, sir, and they have not been used, Mr. Speaker, sir, by approval of this report, the same societies should be given maybe 30 days to do something with the coolers. Because I remember Mosop Cooperative Society, Mr. Speaker, sir, when I visited them, the milk cooler had been lying idle for 2 years. And in an audit report, it had been captured that the county is not getting value for money. So on the same, I acted, and right now Mosop is collecting milk on behalf of the farmers. And Mr. Speaker, sir, yesterday, the leadership of the cooperative visited me, and what they are doing right now, they have requested me in this supplementary budget that I allocate money for purchase of motorcycles to help in collecting milk, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the rural areas. And they have mapped routes. They have given me route number 1, motor vehicle, border 1. Route number 2, border 2. Route number 3, which I think is good, Mr. Speaker, sir. So, milk coolers that lie idle, if the society that they've been given any milk cooler, if they are not using, Mr. Speaker, sir, let the same be donated to a nearby cooperative society, Mr. Speaker, sir, because we must get value for money. Mr. Speaker, sir, we live in digital times where, for example, KTDA, when a farmer plucks tea and he takes his tea to the buying center, once the tea is weighed, Mr. Speaker, sir, a message is sent to the farmer. The same should be replicated in our cooperative societies, the dairy cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker, sir, where we digitize so that if I'm a farmer today, my milk is supplied to a certain cooperative society, wherever I am, I get a notification of the number of liters that has been supplied that day, Mr. Speaker. So we live in the modern times, so I also recommend that if it's possible, we include, Mr. Speaker, sir, on extension officers, the model that is used in the counties is where it is demand-driven. I think we can also make more recommendations so that extension officers can liaise with the relevant department, so that we also include field days where farmers showcase, where farmers bring their animals, where cooperative societies come and showcase what they've done. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I also propose that all the leading, for example, Kabianga Cooperative Society, Mr. Speaker, sir, they should be given an incentive if they are leading in the county, so that we, all of us, learn from them. And they should allow other cooperative societies to also benchmark with them, so that their best practices can be replicated in other cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I laud the Committee on Cooperative, and I tell all the members here, the future is in cooperative societies. Let's embrace cooperative societies, without forgetting the Department of Cooperatives led by one Mr. Oti, Mr. Speaker, sir, who is doing a good job. So let us embrace, let us support them, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
All right. Honorable Ezra, I saw your hand.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for this opportunity you have granted me, Mr. Speaker, so that I can echo and congratulate the members of the Cooperative Committee led by EPO, Honorable Philip Mutai, and its members. I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank them and encourage them to do more. If there is one of, among the best and active committees, Mr. Speaker, I think this cooperative, Mr. Speaker. And during when they wanted to visit ASK, Mr. Speaker, I was sitting on behalf of Chair Lyson Tade. And I had told them, if you will not come with a comprehensive report going forward, you will not be granted opportunity. I think you did exemplary work. Mr. Speaker, having said that, Mr. Speaker, this report is a high opener, Mr. Speaker. And I'm ashamed as one of the members coming from Kipkelian West, Mr. Speaker, because on the records, Mr. Speaker, although this report was an open report, the first statement was the number of cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker. It is the number of cooperative societies are 325. Although the committee didn't explain more about this number of cooperatives, they measured on dairy. I think this was an open statement. I think we will give them another opportunity so that they go and report back on other cooperative societies. Because, Mr. Speaker, in county we have cooperatives which are measuring on potatoes, there are cooperatives which are measuring on coffee and others, Mr. Speaker. But I want to thank them because they pursue the cooperative societies which are dealing with milk. So I think, Mr. Chairman, you will give us more updates on other cooperatives. Mr. Speaker, on cooperative dealing with dairies, Mr. Speaker, I was reiterating that I'm ashamed to be one of the leaders coming from Kipkelian West, Mr. Speaker, because on the record, Mr. Speaker, we have 3 cooperative societies in Kipkelian West, namely Kipkelian Cooperative, Soimining, and Tuya Beisako, Honorable Speaker. Out of all of them, Mr. Speaker, all of them are dormant. And they are should have been the measure because, Mr. Speaker, in the report by the committee, they have the largest capacity coolers, Mr. Speaker, of 7,000 and 8,000. But they are dormant, Mr. Speaker. It's ironical to be dormant, and when you analyze critically, they should be the leading, simply because, Mr. Speaker, Kipkelian West, we are first land, Mr. Speaker, and we produce a lot of maize, which is animal feed, Mr. Speaker. It should be Kipkelian West who should be leading in production of milk because we have a number of large number of sources of animal feed, Mr. Speaker. So I think Kipkelian West, this is a wake-up call, Mr. Speaker. And I think majority leader, and not that the leadership of Kipkelian West, all honorable members, we should lead by example and ensure that everyone has a dairy farm and we supply milk to a certain one dairy cooperative society in the region so that we motivate our members of the public to follow the footsteps, Mr. Speaker. Because now the future millionaires and the future billionaires of this world, Mr. Speaker, are not those who invest in other things, but those who invest towards food production and towards food production, Mr. Speaker. Because land is a fixed asset which remain constant by the number of people grow. When the population grow, we need where to feed them. So if we have an opportunity to invest in food production, that is where the future millionaires and future billionaires are coming from. I don't want to take much time. I want to thank the committee and to tell the honorable members hailing from Kipkelian West, this is a wake-up call. We will meet behind the tent and see what to do. Thank you.
Honorable Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. to also contribute on this report tabled by the Committee on Cooperative Development. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to laud the chair and the committee for the well done job. And as other honorable members have said, Mr. Speaker, sir, surely this is an eye opener that we are looking at this dairy cooperative in our county, among the many cooperatives that we have. Mr. Speaker, sir, of concern to me is the cost of feeds in our dairy sector, in our county. I want to laud the Kabianga cooperative for the move that they have taken and managed to even produce the feeds, their own feeds. I know, Mr. Speaker, sir, that this goes a long way in reducing the cost of the feeds that really has hindered so many farmers, so many potential farmers that would wish to engage in dairy farming. I want to encourage us as leaders that we encourage these dairy farmers or dairy or cooperative societies dealing in dairy, that they should invest. As they invest in the breeds, they enhance the breeds of the dairy that they have. They also should invest in this feed machine making feeds, so that the cost of this venture, Mr. Speaker, sir, is affordable, and the farmers will get at least some good margins from their investments. So I want to also congratulate this Kabianga Dairy, and I remember, Honorable Speaker, a long time when I was in primary school, we used to visit this Kabianga. That time it was FTC, and this Kabianga has really used that FTC, and it has come a long way. That at this time and today we see it is a replica of that time. And let me encourage and say that as county government, we should invest more in this dairy cooperatives, so that our farmers, because we come from a county that we receive rainfall, Honorable Speaker, most of the time of the year. Even though I know at times, like some few months ago, we had some short minimal rains, but most of the parts of the year we receive the rains. So we have to encourage these farmers that we invest in this feed. We minimize the cost of the feeds, and also we encourage them to get involved in the best practices of dairy, so that at least they maximize, or we get some good margins from this venture. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, that is my contribution, and I want to allow the committee for the well job done, and encourage all of us that this is the venture that is going to take this county of ours to create heights of producing and moving forward in terms of production of milk and income, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want also to allow the members from where most of these cooperatives come, our honorable members, for also leading from the front in terms of supply of their milk to these cooperative societies. It's a good move, and it is worth emulating, so that we move forward in terms of empowering our farmers and those also that are potential to do the same, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The Honorable Matthew and then the Honorable Ogoin, in that order. Yes, the Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to the point of order of standing order number 51, which say that during the presentation of the statement, a speaker may allow comments or observation in relation to the report, and that for not more than 20 minutes. I think, Mr. Speaker, we've used more than 20 minutes in our, and this is not a debatable statement. Is not debatable. So I think. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. The Honorable Matthew, please proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me the opportunity also to contribute and also to commend the good work done by the Committee on Cooperative Management, Tourism and Wildlife. Mr. Speaker, according to my analysis, I've realized this is the committee with the highest number of ladies, and I want to thank you, the honorable ladies, for giving this committee a full backup when come. I've gone even through the pictorials and I have missed to see the majority leader visiting these cooperative societies. So, Mr. Speaker, one, I want also to congratulate my my cooperative society, that is Kabianga Cooperative, where I supplied milk every morning.
Yes, the Honorable Paul Chitchut. And then the Honorable Matthew, Honorable members, as you contribute, stick to the matter.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise on a point of information that the Honorable point of information, Eric B., who had risen on a point of order, Mr. Speaker, that the Speaker on standing order number 1, Mr. Speaker, and I read, in all cases not hereinafter provided for and subject to the Constitution and other written laws, the Speaker, Mr. Speaker, sir, shall decide having regard to the orders of the Assembly, the usages, forms, precedents, customs, procedures, and traditions of the Assembly and the National Parliament and legislative assemblies from other jurisdictions in view of the constitutional principles, the practices in other parliaments, in so far as the same may be applicable to this Assembly, Mr. Speaker. So I guess the member is informed.
Honorable members, let us proceed. Honorable members, because this is a subject of the subject matter is quite important, I request the honorable members that we use like 2 minutes each. The honorable members that will catch the eye of the speaker. Please proceed. Honorable Matthew.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I'm seeing honorable members are competing to tell us how they have gone through these standing orders. But we thank God that it is an opportunity to contribute on this report. Mr. Speaker, I think from the report, this is now where I also urge the honorable members here that we come up with legislation that will protect these cooperative societies. The reason why we are talking that there is a dormant cooperative societies is because, one, either it is leadership for the cooperative societies, either it is that mismanagement, Mr. Speaker. This is the right time that this county assembly come up with legislation that will protect the cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I think this committee also should look and advise the cooperative societies to go and benchmark with best practices. If you can come to Kabianga Tea Farm, we normally get the dairy meal. We normally get the animal feed from Kabianga Cooperative, where at the end of the month, we are being deducted some amount, Mr. Speaker. The reason why farmers might not be able even to supply milk to these cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker, is because of the high cost of animal feeds, Mr. Speaker, sir. So one is that if we can get that the cooperative societies can supply in a good amount or in a credit, Mr. Speaker, the farmers will continue at the end of the day to supply milk to these cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker. 3, Mr. Speaker, from the recommendation of the committee, this is the committee have realized that they have to work with all other departments, Department of Water, Department of the Health, through the public health, Mr. Speaker. And one, the CC in charge of trade and the CC in charge of agriculture should organize for them fair trade for these cooperative societies so that they can exchange their views, Mr. Speaker, sir. One, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the committee and also congratulate the chair for standing steadfast and confirm that this report is tabled before this house. I remember my statement, I requested the same day with Honorable Paul Chirchir, but one, your statement has been tabled, Mr. Chirchir. I know one, Chair Agriculture will improve and table my statement as well, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Ogon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And Mr. Speaker, to begin with, I must also congratulate the Committee on Cooperatives for the job done. Mr. Speaker, I only have 2 issues to raise. One, from the report, Mr. Speaker, you can see the county government of Kericho has the least presence in the management of these cooperative societies. Mr. Speaker, when the report was read through, you can see even the office of the county MP through the National Government Affirmative Action Fund has been able to support these cooperative societies. And Mr. Speaker, as guided by the Constitution of Kenya, Schedule 4, this function, Mr. Speaker, is squarely a county function. It is unfortunate that the county has not paid attention towards the revival of these cooperative societies. Mr. Speaker, the only aspect where the county should chip in, Mr. Speaker, is even to support these cooperative societies with extension officers present. Mr. Speaker, you can see the 3 cooperative societies which are doing well. That is Kabianga, Cherobo stroke Kipwastuyo, the Kapsoit one. We have the Litain, Kibagenge. Most of those cooperative societies have freelance extension officers, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is important that the county should take serious consideration to supporting these societies. Mr. Speaker, I support the recommendations given by the committee. Mr. Speaker, one, we've got as an assembly to enhance the budget that will go towards supporting these societies, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in my sub-county, we only have 1 cooperative society. That is the one that is around Sikowet. And Mr. Speaker, the last time we visited with the governor, the society is struggling. In fact, the society is running, but under the mercies of the directors, not even directors, the committee. Mr. Speaker, even connecting electricity has been a challenge to the society. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish as a county, or even as a house, let us ensure these societies are enhanced, their budget is considered. And the last recommendation, Mr. Speaker, is the county government of Kericho. I know they have advertised the jobs and the interviews are scheduled to begin today, tomorrow, through to Friday. But since, Mr. Speaker, if you check from what they advertised, they are getting the least number of officers that are going to man even these societies. Mr. Speaker, I wish the governor, through this assembly, be informed to additionally consider more in extension officers. And the last one, Mr. Speaker, the best cooperative society, that is Kabianga. I wish, as part of the recommendation, Mr. Speaker, we have 1 farmer from this society given a foreign trip on benchmarking on how we can best run our cooperative societies, or even the dairy sector. This, in a long way, Mr. Speaker, will be an incentive towards reviving most of our cooperative societies. to this, Mr. Speaker. I thank the committee and I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the Honorable Logon. I'll give to the Honorable Vincent Korir, and then final contribution by the Honorable Chief Whip. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to thank the membership of Cooperative for doing a very good job in giving us this report. And what I should say is, you see, Mr. Speaker, sir, Israel developed because of cooperatives. And I know cooperative movement is a sure way of enriching our society and even boosting the economy of this county. I've seen the membership have listed the dairy, which I think it is very important. But you see, also the other sectors of cooperative, like the coffee, tea, maybe in our area, focusing maybe in future we should form also bilateral coffees, bilateral societies. There are also housing societies and maybe processing cooperative societies, and maybe we should be able to look as a county. Mr. Speaker, sir, the cooperative movement is very important to our farmers, because I know collection of produce is again an activity that's that we need to help our farmers to be able to collect our produce. For example, we have almost all 70% in Kericho County have dairy cows, but the question is, are they able to collect the produce and sell in the right market? And cooperative is the answer. In our area, particularly on East, I've seen there is a cooperative society that is sharing a building. What we should emulate is we should have cooperative societies like Gitunguri, where the products are available in supermarkets. Meaning the county should be able to boost the cooperative societies to empower them to value add and even negotiate for better prices, so that the farmers can be able to benefit more. Again, the cost of production in terms of feeds is again a challenge. And through cooperatives, this is where we can be able to minimize the cost of production for feeds for farmers. I know it's very expensive, but through cooperatives, they can be able to do that. And here from the county, as we are budgeting for other sections like roads, like water, I think we should also think of giving more money to sector like cooperative, because you see, cooperative, we are always discussing about revenue. That's a sure way where money can go back to our society, and even revenue can be able to be collected. Maybe what I can challenge the cooperative department is this number of cooperative, especially dairy societies, is very small. 23 is not enough for us. Again, if we can be able to even boost cooperative societies, sourcing of better breeds for cows through importation or even production within the area is easier and can be viable. Otherwise, thank you very much for the committee. Yes. We will support this report. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. The Honorable Kipchoge, I'll give you a minute, and then I'll give the Chief Whip some 2 minutes so that we can move on.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance. Honorable Speaker, in fact, I never wanted you to lock me out, because I have 2 cooperative societies in my ward, and maybe the committee didn't know that there are 2 which are upcoming ones. But first, Honorable Speaker, allow me to congratulate what the committee did, led by my good friend, the EBO Chair, Honorable Philip, and the entire team, for visiting these cooperative societies. Honorable Speaker, I have the upcoming one in my ward, that is Captain, The team never visited, but currently the society collects about 500 liters of milk daily. And there's a good one, Toroj Tany, which supply some milk to Kabianga Cooperative Society. They are in cooperation. And that cooperative society, Honorable Speaker, they collected about 1,200 liters of milk daily. There are a few challenges, Honorable Speaker, and in which, of course, I want to commend what the committee recommended, that we need to assist these cooperative societies, you know, to uplift their standards and assist farmers. Allow me also to congratulate one of the lead farmers in this county, Honorable Paul Chirchir. It's known that Honorable Paul Chirchir currently is one of the lead farmers in terms of dairy farming. This is a way to go. Agriculture is a backbone of our economy in this country, and more so in this county of ours. So we need to encourage our farmers, you know, to keep dairy and be in these cooperative societies. I also want to say, Honorable Speaker, that we need to have extension officers, and I'm happy currently that is a program that soon we are having extension officers in our wards to assist these farmers, you know, improve in terms of, you know, their production. Another challenge that is there, the main challenge, this cooperative society I'm having in my place, Toroj Tany, they formulate their own feeds, Honorable Speaker. This is a group that was helped by a program that is which was initiated by this the previous county government, the Kenya Climate Smart. They did, you know, provide machinery for the society, and currently they are producing feeds. They formulate their own feeds, you know, in assisting their farmers. But the challenge is where to get some of the raw materials. So this is, you know, some of the things we need to support these societies, you know, in getting some cheaper raw materials. We go as far as Uganda to get some raw materials for the feeds. So maybe moving forward, we need to give them some revolving funds, you know, to assist them in managing their cooperative societies. Otherwise, I really want to say thank you, but please, this is not the final list, because I'm seeing that the committee said we have only 23 cooperative societies in the county, yet we still have 2, you know, in my place. Thank you.
Thank you, the Honorable Paul Kiptobi, on your contribution. And you have also informed us that the Honorable Paul Chirchir perhaps is one of the farmers in Kericho. But I heard that you are supplying 20 liters of milk when you made your contribution on this subject matter. So perhaps you need to lead by example. The Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to start by congratulating the committee on cooperative and management that is led by their chair, Honorable Philip Mutai. Mr. Speaker, having gone through the report that they gathered from the field, I want to make it clear that I'm very happy and I'm really delighted that today it is very explicitly clear that Kabianga Dairy Farmers Cooperative Society is actually leading in the whole county. And I want to say pongezi to Kabianga Cooperative Society for having showed as an example. Mr. Speaker, having gone through, I also want to thank the committee of Kabianga. Now that I remember very well, because I come from the same sub-county, Kabianga actually, Mr. Speaker, had closed down until recently, about 2020, is when we resuscitated. And actually, Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm, as it has been captured in the report, I want to say that Kabianga is actually carrying a flag high and is leading as an example. I want to appreciate the committee led by the chairman, that is Mike Ross, and all the entire team for having led as an example. Mr. Speaker, I also want to laud my cooperative society. That is in my good ward, that is Cheptoro Odiot Cooperative Society, for having stood tall and probably having already a capacity of members ranging to 528. I want to say, Mr. Speaker, having actually worked with a team that spearheaded the upcoming of the cooperative, I want to say very delighted, very happy that has been captured very clear in the report that at some point, Mr. Speaker, we also need to sacrifice as leaders. Like we've been told, or at some point when I was consulted by the members at the committee, I was also requested that they ought to keep their records properly. I also saw it fit, Mr. Speaker, that I should also assist them in giving them a full computer, probably so that they can keep on their records going forward. I'm very happy, and I want to request them again that management issue is the teething problem. And I've always requested them and all other cooperative societies, they should actually stick to the truth and work tirelessly for our good people. Mr. Speaker, on the same note, I also want to note here, Mr. Speaker, on the issue that I remember when we were doing this, the budget, the supplementary one, I gave my good people a budget of 4 million to acquire a cooler for Seretut Cooperative Society, Mr. Speaker. And I'll still stand by it. Though we've not delivered, but I still say, Mr. Speaker, without fear or favor, that my people comes first at all times. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would request that as we do supplementary 2 now, I hope to deliver my cooler to my good people of Seretut because they have a lot of milk. But then you see, we cannot deliver to the bigger dairy processors because you see, we don't have a cooler. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to make it very clear that my cooler must be delivered based on the budget that I appropriated myself, and so that my people deserve the same. So, therefore, Mr. Speaker, on that note, I want to finalize probably on noting on the challenges. As we've been told, the major challenge for dairy, Mr. Speaker, is actually the feeding, the feeds. We are told this is very expensive, but then I want to laud most of my members here that actually are keeping dairy farmers. Me, Mr. Speaker, I'm a tea farmer. So probably I want to join the league of Paul Chirchir, though 20 liters. I want to say, Mr. Honorable Paul Chirchir, very soon, probably going December, I'll be a very proud dairy farmer supplying over 200 times yours. So I want to appreciate and wish everybody well as we dispense of this noble report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Chief Whip. You are very passionate about your people, as you mentioned my people a number of times. Honorable members, now we have come to conclusion on the reports as raised by Honorable Chirchir, that response by the Committee on Cooperative Management. I now, of course, this report, of course, sent to the executive, that is to the respective Department of Agriculture, but I direct the Committee on Implementation to follow up on the matters that have been raised. Please, the Honorable Chairperson or the Vice Chairperson or any member to note that for implementation. The next response, the next report, this is a response to statement that was, this is a report really on inquiry regarding harassment in the estates. Honorable members, remember this was as a result of the DPC expose. This was the Commission on Welfare to go and look into the matters or the matter at hand then, and report back to this House, pass 1 to standing order number 205. And I want to give the opportunity to the Honorable Irene Langat to table the report.
So, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity and Ekatera Tea Estate. Okay, I'll go through the report and the whole of it. And let's be keen and patient as I read through the report. Our chairperson, I think, gave apologies, and I'm standing in for the chair, that is Honorable Francis Terrer. From number 1, that is the preface. Standing order number 205, subsection 5A, that is to investigate, inquire into, and report on all matters relating to the mandate, management, activities, administration, operations, and estimates of the assigned departments. Number 1.1, that is the mandate of the committee. Understanding order number 205, it gives the mandate of the Governance, Labor, Social Welfare Committee as stipulated in the Kericho County Assembly Standing Order number 205, and it concerns all matters relating to labor, trade union relations, manpower or human resource planning, gender, culture and social welfare, county heritage, betting, lotteries, sports, and county public service, human resource planning, gender, culture, social welfare, county heritage, betting, lottery, sports, and the county public service, and ensuring and coordinating the participation of communities and locations in governance at the local level, and assisting communities and locations to develop the administrative capacity for the effective exercise of the functions and the powers and participation in governance at the local levels. I think it is okay. Oversight. In line with the assigned subject matter and in executing of the mandate of the committee oversees all the matters pertaining labor. Membership. The committee membership is as follows. Number 1 is Honorable Francis Terrer, that is the chairperson. Honorable Gabriela Chemweno, that is the vice chair. And the list below are the members. Honorable Beatrice Chepkemoy, Honorable Noela Omolo, Honorable Bol B, Honorable Simeon Koske, Honorable Mercy Kigonyo, Honorable Winnie Chepkoech, and myself, Honorable Irene Langat. Committee meetings. The committee endeavors to address issues raised by the BBC documentary on sex for work as per Standing Order 205, based on evidence on record, which will form testimonies from the witnesses and the stakeholders. The committee analysis of testimonials to determine the concerns raised as follows. Number 1, to establish if there is a concrete information on the allegations of sexual harassment of female workers in the various tea estates in our county. Number 2 is to scrutinize policy and guidelines of employees' welfare at the multinational tea estates in Kericho. Number 3, make recommendation Amendment Act of 2020. Number 4 is the Sexual Offense Act. Under Sexual Offense Act, a person may be found guilty of sexual harassment if any person who is being in authority or holding a public office persistently makes any sexual policy statement